And let me mute everybody and we'll start our warm-up time. Here we go, vocal warm-ups beginning officially. Goo, 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 goo. If you have any questions about what we're doing, raise your hand, let me know. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Hi, Jane. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Hi, Alan. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Sharon. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. I love that one as a first one because the vocal fry is a real gentle way to get our vocal cords vibrating and meeting. Let's try this one. Minga, 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 minga. If you can remember, flare your nostrils a little bit while you're doing it because that has the effect of opening up this whole part of our resonating space from the nose up. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. One way you can check to make sure that you're not singing with any tension is that while you're singing, just gently move your head side to side, or you can twist your body like this, or you can do like a swimming motion. Any kind of sort of gentle movement while you're singing is a way to defer tension. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. I'm not singing loud and I'm not stressing myself. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Minga, 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 minga. Now let's move on to nay, 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 a supranasal. Nay, 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 nay. Not pretty, but very bright and nasal. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Welcome everybody who's jumped on the call since we started. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. This is activating the mask or the front part of our singing. Basically from from our cheekbones forward is referred to as the mask, and this nasal pronunciation kind of exaggerates that. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. Nay, 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 nay. My voice teachers recently had me sing with my hands like this in front of my ears, kind of blocking my ears. The reason they were having me do this is so that I could concentrate on the feeling and not on the sound. All of us make adjustments to our own sound, which is a sort of a backwards way of doing it because we can't really tell how we sound anyway. People who listen to us can tell how we sound, but how we sound on the inside is not how we actually sound. Does that make sense? The first time you hear yourself on tape, you go, "Oh, I sound like yuck." Well, that's the sound that everybody else has been hearing since you were born, and it doesn't sound yuck to them. It only sounds yuck to us. So after a while of recording ourselves, we get used to how we really sound. But blocking our ears a little bit like this, you can also do it by just pushing in. Then you can concentrate on the feeling of your voice on the inside and not so much on the sound. It's up to you if you want to kind of experiment with that. Maybe try it on this one. Here's the lip buzz or tongue trill. Whichever one works best for you. So the concept is if we're listening too much to our own sound, sometimes we try to manipulate our technique to produce a sound that we like better. But that's not actually the way we're supposed to do it. We're supposed to concentrate on singing it correctly, and then a beautiful sound comes out. We need somebody like a voice teacher or a friend to listen to us and say, "Here's how you sound." But if we're listening to ourselves and trying to manipulate our technique to make the sound better, that's the tail wagging the dog. Another way to do it would be to record yourself and then listen back, because then you're hearing how you really sound. Move around a little bit. So the lip buzz tongue trill thing, that is for tongue tension. That's what that's for. Here's this one. Just short little notes. So I'm hardly singing those high notes. It's just a little bitty sound. So most of our warm-up exercises only cover 5 notes. This is the first one that covers 8 notes. So it feels like it gets too high faster because we're covering a bigger range. So that's already got us up at an A flat, just with barely singing anything. Next is NG on a 5-note scale. Just your mouth can be mostly closed. The older I get, the more I realize how important this one is, because it causes the nasopharynx to open up and resonate. You can't sing this sound if your nasopharynx is closed. It's impossible. So the fact that you can make any sound at all means that your nasopharynx is open and vibrating. Now this one's a little weird for the first time. If you haven't done this before, it feels like, why am I doing this? But the more you do it, the more normal it starts to feel. Your mouth can be mostly closed, or your mouth can be relaxed. Now I want to try something. We're going to do this same exercise, but at the top, we're going to open and include our mouth like this. So when I open to the ah, it's a real thin, it's on the very thin edge of my vocal cords. I'm not pushing. I'm not trying to have a big sound. I'm just singing the easiest sound I can make. And it seems easier to me when I'm coming from the NG sound, because everything's open and vibrating the way it's supposed to. I want to ask a question, and you can answer it as honestly as you know how. How many of you feel like you are singing a little bit better than you were before the pandemic? Isn't that incredible that this weird experience of pandemic and being online has forced us to meet several times a week and do these warm-up things, and then over the span of 2 years, most of you put your hands up, saying that you feel like you're singing better than when you were meeting in person. Isn't that just a strange, I never ever would have predicted that. None of us knew what was going to come of this, but your faithfulness to show up to these Zoom rehearsals and do these exercises, how many of you find yourself doing them in the car or the shower or while you're doing the dishes? Like, is there some other time when you're sort of I find myself vocalizing a lot when I'm not doing something else. If I'm in the car by myself, in the shower, whatever, shaving, I I do 5 minutes of one of these exercises, and it activates my voice for the day. So I think it's cool. Hey, you want to learn some hard music? I do. So be patient with yourself as we struggle through some of these pieces or some of these sections that are difficult. Just be patient with yourself and realize you are going to learn it based on history. You guys have been learning this music online to the point where you can perform it. Certainly for the videos, you've done that. So just be patient with yourself when things are difficult, and understand that we will learn it. I like to start in weird places on songs. Like I like to start in the middle of a section or at the end and work backwards. The concept being that we're always singing into material that we know. So Lux Eterna, page 10. And I'm going to use the rehearsal tracks to help. Page 10, let's start with the basses. Just sing on la 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 or lu lu lu. Let's get the notes learned and then we'll tackle the language. So top of 10, bass is first. 2, 3, 4. Lu 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 one more time. Top of 10 basses. 2, ready, and lo 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 I think I need to have my chat window open because people might be trying to communicate. Will this recording be put on YouTube? Yes. So all of my Friday Zoom rehearsals for the forever till I die, I record them, and then I try to upload them, right after the rehearsal. Unless I have a sing along, I try to upload them to YouTube like 5 minutes later. By the way, there were some mistakes in the rehearsal tracks for Rise, Shine. I have corrected them and I put new videos up on YouTube. So you won't notice, you just go find the video and the new one's up there. But if you prefer to work with the downloaded MP3s, you'll want to go get the new versions of the MP3s, whatever method you prefer. Okay, tenors, can I hear you top of 10? Here we go, tenors. Ready, and just that much again, tenors. 2, ready, and try the basses and tenors together because a lot of the time they're parallel, a third apart. So here's the bass note. Here's the tenor note. I won't sing this time. Top of 10, basses and tenors. 2, 3, 4, 1. And 1. 1. So basses, I went a little further that time than I did with you individually. Okay, altos, let's hear you. Right on the edge of 10. I realize this is in the middle of a phrase. I'm trying to sort of deconstruct this piece and let us just look at the notes, and then we'll put it together with lyrics and phrasing and so forth. Altos, top of 10. Basses, if you want to sing along, here's your note. Tenors, if you want to sing along, here's your note. And altos. 2, ready, and. By the way, I don't want to assume that everybody knows how to recognize which is the alto, soprano, tenor, and bass. In general, the alto line is the second line from the top. So I labeled mine SATB. And some of you that are used to reading choral music, that's you're used to looking there with your eyes to find the alto line. But for those of you that aren't, that might help. SATB on the staff like that. And if you need to write it on every, or write an arrow, you know, if you're an alto and you need to circle your part like that. Can you see what I've done there? Anyway, if that helps. Altos, let's try you again, please. Here's bass note, tenor, alto, 2, alto, and. Loo, 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 okay, sopranos. You're obviously in the middle of a phrase because the note is tied over, but let's try sopranos. 2. Here's the alto note. Here's the tenor note. Here's the bass note. And we're working on the sopranos. 2, ready, go. Loo, 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 loo. That much again, sopranos. Here's the bass, tenor, alto, 2, ready, sopranos. Loo, 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 I predict when we learn this piece and we're all singing it together on stage, you're going to just be amazed how beautiful it is. Okay, so what I want to try is singing along with the rehearsal tracks. You can sing on Lu or La, or you can try to do the lyrics. I'm not going to focus on the lyrics just yet. but let me scroll up to this spot in the music. This is in the middle of page 9, so we're a little bit before page 10. Lux eterna, luceat Domine. So let me roll back a little bit, bassist, so you can join in. Again, you can sing on the lyrics or just the notes on Lululu. Lux eterna, luceat eis Domine. Lux eterna, dona eis requiem. Lux requiem. Lux requiem. Just to give you a little sense of what the bass part sounds like isolated. Tenors, let me hear you at the same spot, please. Yeah. Thank you for being patient with hearing the parts individually and with learning a difficult song. Here comes tenors. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Lux eterna, luceat eis Domine. Lux eterna, dona eis, dona lux requiem, lux requiem. One more time, tenors. We'll do this for each of the parts, and then we'll move on. Does this help to hear it isolated like this, I hope? 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3.
Paul?
4. Yes?
Leslie Gardner has her hand up.
Oh, sorry.
Leslie Gardner has her hand up. I guess she has a question.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see. I guess there's 2 pages of...
Gantner, Leslie Gantner.
Leslie, what's your question? Sorry, folks, there's 2 screens, so I'm not seeing half of you some of the time.
And I'm not seeing all the chat either, so we're...
I'm looking at the chat here too. Anybody have a question? Okay, I'll continue with the tenors then. Here comes. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Lux eterna, luceat eis Domine. Lux eterna, dona eis, dona lux requiem, lux requiem. Good, altos. Let me hear you at the same spot. So I'm trying to start it at the bottom of 9, with the assumption that we're sort of starting the new section at 47. This new section starts at 47. Here's the alto. And 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go back a little further. So you can sing on lu, 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 la, la, la. You don't have to worry about the words just yet. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Altos, that's kind of a tricky line. Let's start you pickups to the last measure, bottom of 9, where the words say Requiem aeternam. But let's just do it on lu lu lu. Altos. 1, 2, 3. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. 3, 4. Off. One more time. Pickups to the last measure, bottom of 9. Requiem. 1, 2, 3. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Beautiful line, altos. Eventually we'll get the Latin in there and it'll be amazing. Sopranos, let's start at the same spot. We'll do it with the track first, and then we'll see if we feel like we need to do it with the piano. This is bottom of 9, sopranos. Let me roll up to your entrance here. Here it comes. And 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go back a little bit. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. I must say that Leah Crane sings that quite well. Somebody asked, is this a modern piece or a historical piece? This is a modern piece. It's a setting of ancient language, but it's a modern composition. Okay, so that's just a little glance at that section of this song. Now, let's go back and look at top of 4, please. Top of 4 is where the sopranos and altos have the initial statement of the melody. Let me find that on the track. 3, 4. 1 and 2. Off. Good, so sopranos and altos, let's look at this section, please. Top of 4, the third measure, which is measure 9, just sing on lu, lu, lu. Sopranos and altos, 2, ready, and 1. Lu, 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 Once again, sopranos and altos, 2, ready, and Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Lu 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 lu. Now repeat after me. Lux eterna. Lux eterna. Everybody repeat after me because everybody's going to say these lyrics at some point. Lux eterna. Lux eterna. Luce a teis. Luce a teis. Lux eterna. Dona eis requiem. Dona eis requiem. Now let's try it with the lyrics. Tenors and basses, feel free to sing along because you are going to encounter this melody or pieces of this melody and you're going to encounter these lyrics. So let's try singing together this opening section. And one. Lux eterna, lux eterna, lucea teis. Lux eterna, lux eterna, dona eis requiem. One more time. Not a beautiful melody, and it's got this underneath it. It's really beautiful writing. Once again, everybody on the melody. 3, 4, 1. Lux eterna, lux eterna, lucea teis. Lux eterna, lux eterna, dona eis requiem. Basses, requiem, and then lux requiem, lux. And that little lux answer that I just sang is the tenors and the altos together. The tenors are up high, the altos are down low, and the basses have this line in between. Let's start right there, top of 5, where the basses have requiem, and then the tenors and altos go lux. Here we go. Basses, sing us in. 3, 4. Requiem, lux, requiem, lux. And then sopranos have lux eterna, lux eterna. Okay, so that's a little taste. I want to kind of demystify this song because it's a little bit challenging and it's in Latin. We're going to learn it in little pieces like that. But I also want to jump around and touch on other songs. So we're going to put that one away for now. Let's look at Rise, Shine. So, for example, basses, the first note you're going to sing is measure 4, which is the O, the last measure of the first page. None of us is going to sing the notes that are written in measures 1, 2, and 3. I'm not exactly sure why Jonathan chose that, but we're all going to enter on our note on measure 4. So let's start with the basses, please. 2, 3, 4. Oh, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise shine, rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's 1, 2, 3, he's coming. And then it goes, rise and shine. It repeats back to top of 3. So this is the song where we're saying the word, instead of saying rise, we're just going to say rise, like R-A-H. We're not gonna do hardly any diphthong at all. No rise and shine, rise and shine. We're gonna pronounce it a little bit differently. Rise and shine, rise and shine. Try to just keep the ah sound going as long as you can. Basses again, please. Last note, bottom of the first page. 2, ready, go. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Oh, my Lord says he's 1, 2, 3, he's coming. Rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by and by. What a great bass line. Tenors, let me hear you. So you enter on the second beat of measure 4. The basses come in first. It's going to go like this. It's kind of a cool little arpeggiated effect, everybody entering at a different time. So at tenors, you're going to enter on beat 2. 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by and by. That's the tenor. We'll go back over all this in a second using the rehearsal tracks. Okay, altos, you enter on beat 3 of measure 4. So you have 1, 2. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by and by. It would be interesting to talk to Jonathan about why he chooses the music that he chooses. He does it with a group of people. Spirituals are a big part of choral music tradition. So I think it's partly wanting to have a broad range of styles. If we look at the set of music that's been picked, it's very diverse. From the spiritual to Happy Together, I mean, that's diverse. And then Already Home is Andrew Lloyd Webber from Broadway. Zion's Walls is from one of the great American composers, Aaron Copland. And then this Lux Eterna is a modern piece, but it's in Latin. So you guys are getting the full kind of spectrum. When you can only pick 5 or 6 songs, how do you have it be diverse? Altos, one more time. 1, 2. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my my Lord says he's coming by and by. I like diversity. I think variety is the spice of life. So I like to go to a concert and hear a variety of things. I like to sing a variety of things. So picking diverse repertoire like this means that he's more likely to find something that you like. If he picked all songs like Happy Together, there would be some of you that would be like, possibly. And if he picked all songs like Rise, Shine, there would be some of you that would be like, I want more songs like Happy Together. So picking one of each kind of scratches more itches potentially. Sopranos, let's hear you. Rise, shine for delight. It's like delight, D-U-H. Instead of the, we're going to say duh. Rise, shine, for delight is a coming. Rise and shine, for delight is a coming. Delight. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, rise, shine, for delight is a coming. Rise and shine, for delight is a coming. Oh, rise, shine, for delight is a coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by. Rise, shine, for delight is a coming. Rise and shine, for delight is a coming. Oh, rise, shine, for delight is a coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by. Hey, sopranos, if you wanted to do a little vocalese or warm up, you could do it on a tongue trill. If it feels too high, do it on a tongue trill and it might feel easier because the tongue trill releases a lot of tension that might have been built up. So let's get a sense of this with the rehearsal tracks, just that much of the song. Let me scroll through my 5 million folders. Wish you guys could see. I guess I could share my screen. Here's what my folder looks like. Let me hide this. So just for Rise, Shine, here's what it's got the videos that I made, and this is the original recording project. And then here's all the MP3s, and then here's the program I used to make the videos, and then here's the sheet music. So for each song, there's something like, 50 or 35 associated files. Big deal. Okay, let me find the rehearsal track. Newest corrected MP3s, because I made mistakes on the first one. Here's the full mix of this one, just for to give us a sense of it. This is Rise, Shine, full mix, all parts. One, two, three, four. Rise, shine, for the light is a coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a coming. Rise, shine, for the light is a coming. Yes, my Lord says he's coming by and coming. Rise, shine, for the light is a coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a coming. Good, now let's just do that much with the parts individually. So here's the bass, the same section for basses. This is Rise, Shine, bass rehearsal track. Feel free to sing along on your own part if you're able to do that. Here come the basses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and and shine, rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming. Rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming by and by. For a small fee, I will call your phone at 6:30 a.m. and sing this to you. Here come the tenors. This is Rise, Shine, tenor rehearsal track. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine, rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming by and by. This is the year. Now, altos, please. This is Rise, Shine, alto 1 rehearsal track. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming by. Oh, rise and shine, 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 rise and shine. Yes, my Lord says He's coming by and by.
Isn't it fun? This has nothing to do with anything, but you might find it interesting. At some point, I searched the name Paul Langford on Facebook, and I found like 50 other people with the same name, and they all live in England because Langford's an English name. So I friend requested all of them. So I have like 50 friends with the same name. Most of them live in England, but there's a couple in the US. There's actually a guy in Michigan whose name is Paul Langford, and his wife is named Jennifer, which is what my wife's name is. So sometimes I see a post of his. It says, Paul and Jennifer Langford were at such and such a restaurant. I'm like, no, we weren't. Oh, wait. So one of the guys is in Australia, and he's quite interactive with me. He'll like or love or comment on things quite frequently. And yesterday, my wife posted this thing announcing a fundraiser for my daughter's band program. They have to sell, whatever they have to sell, cheesecake or chocolate or apples or oranges. All the kids are supposed to sell it to raise money for the band program. Well, my wife set up this Venmo account for relatives of ours who live in other places who they don't really want to buy a box of oranges, but they want to support my daughter. So she set up this Venmo account where their grandparents in Texas or New Jersey can send money, and she posted about it. And this guy, Paul Langford from Australia, said, can I contribute? Do you guys have PayPal? And he sent us $50. I've never met the guy, and he's sending my daughter $50 for her band program. Isn't that incredible? All just because of, I don't know what, social media, or we have the same name, or what's the connection there exactly? Several people that don't live here, that have never met me or my daughter, they saw the post and they wanted to contribute. And what's funny is a lot of family members aren't contributing. It's all strangers. Okay, so now sopranos. Let's do this same section with sopranos, and then we'll do it once more with everybody. This is Rise, Shine, Soprano 1 rehearsal track. One, two, three, four.
Rise, shine, for the light is a-coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Oh, rise, shine, for the light is a-coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by. Rise, shine, for the light is a-coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Oh, rise, shine, for the light is a-coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by.
Good. Now let's try everybody together. The hardest part might be getting your initial note. The bass note is this: tenor, alto, soprano. Let's try just the O chord, everybody finding their note. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. 2, ready, go. Okay, now let's try it with the track. See how you do on these first 3 pages. This is Rise, Shine, full mix, all parts. One, two, three, four.
Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Oh, rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by. Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. Oh, rise and shine, for the light is a-coming. My Lord says he's coming by and by.
This is the year of Jubilee. Good. So that's kind of a little workout on the first 3 pages of Rise, Shine. Ann Cole commented that there's hundreds of Ann Coles on Facebook, so she's going to start collecting dollars. Let's work a little bit on Zion's Walls, please. I'm kind of focusing today on what I think are kind of the hardest ones. Because the easier ones are easier. So we'll attack the hard ones first. I really like this Zion's Walls piece. I think it's incredible. Then there's some really beautiful recordings on YouTube. YouTube is such a big part of my life now that it's kind of hard for me to remember when it wasn't, when we couldn't. I mean, this morning when I was thinking about that song, Can't We Be Friends, I typed it in, and there's like, 1,000 versions of Can't We Be Friends by all the great singers, and I listened to all of them. Okay, sopranos, let's hear you at the beginning. We'll get used to counting this intro. Some measures are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then every now and then there's a measure of 6/8, which is only 2 beats. 1, 2. And the whole song starts on beat 3. This is Zion's Walls, Soprano 1 rehearsal track. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, oh, 1, 2.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to reach within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, shout and go
know it's going by fast. We're gonna work on it slow in just a minute. Here it is again, soprano ones. This is Zion's Walls, soprano 1 rehearsal track. 1, 2.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to reach within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout. The walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. What was Aaron Copeland thinking? Okay, soprano 2, you got all the same notes except at the end of that section. And I don't know if you've got these written in yet, but I'm going to start at top of 5 with the second sopranos. So you can hear yours ends a little bit differently.
Walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2.
Shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout. The walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2. So you have the walls of Zion, Zion. Suddenly my keyboard sound is not working. Why would that be? I don't know why. The walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, Zion.
I don't have a soprano 2. Where do you have a soprano 2?
You have to write it in.
Oh.
Paul, can you share your page?
I'm sorry?
Can you share your page for the Sopranos by any chance so they can see it?
Yeah. Let me see if it's written in here on the chart that Jonathan sent me. It's recorded, but I realize it's much easier if you can see it. Okay, yeah, I'll share my screen, and the chart that Jonathan sent me is marked up. Let me make this larger. Soprano 2, can you see that there's a dotted quarter right here that stays on the C? The walls of Zion, Zion. You stay on the C, and then at the top of the next page, you stay on the C. I actually can show you both of those pages at once. The walls of Zion, Zion is all the same. Does that make sense? Did you kind of see what I was showing you there? Sorry if you haven't covered this yet. You might, each of us is kind of working at our own pace, so you might not have covered it yet. So there's an alto change too coming up, and I'll show you that. Let me go back to sharing my screen. At the very same spot, first altos, the walls of Zion, and you stay, Zion, and then you go on up to a C, which is kind of like the second sopranos. But the lower altos are going to go, the walls of Zion, Zion. So D, F, G, A flat. It's actually kind of stolen from the piano part. Can you see this little piano part here? D, F, G, A flat. It's kind of a cool part. We'll learn it with the rehearsal tracks here in a second, altos. Bum, 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 bum. It makes sense musically when you're singing it. Okay, so Soprano 2s, let's just hear the tail end of that section for you. I'm going to start at the top of that page, and then you can hear how that section ends.
We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout. The walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense? Goes by kind of quick, but it sort of makes sense. Okay, so alto 1, let's do you from the beginning now, please. This is Zion's Walls, alto 1 rehearsal track. One, two, three, 1, 2.
Come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Come, fathers and mothers, come.
Does it make sense? Okay, so this is going by kind of fast. In a minute, we'll go back and do it slow, but I just wanted you to hear it kind of in context. Tenors, let's hear you, please. This is Zion's Walls, tenor rehearsal track. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Come join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So where there's 2 tenor notes, we're just singing the upper one. We're eliminating the lower one. This is Zion's Walls, tenor rehearsal track. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Come join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Basses, let's hear you, please. This is Zion's Walls, bass rehearsal track. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Come join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. What a great bass part. Oh my gosh. Basses again. This is Zion's Walls, bass rehearsal track. 2. Come join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now, all the parts together. Hey, if you find yourself singing this song later today sometime, I want you to email me or text me. Because I find myself, these tunes get stuck in my head big time, and I'll just be like, oh, no, no, walls of Zion, no, like it's in my brain. But I kind of want to know if it's in yours. So text me or email me and say I was just singing Walls of Zion. Here comes everybody. The trick now is to find your own entrance point and hang on to your part with everything else going on. This is Zion's Walls, full mix, all parts. 1, 2.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion,
The praises of Zion.
Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion?
We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I like to expose my daughters to everything that I consider to be good music, which includes everything from Tchaikovsky to Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I like to kind of just play it for them and see if they get it, see if they respond at the right moments. And when I played I found a recording of this really good college choir that had like 100 people in it. When we hit that chord at the top of 6, their faces lit up like they got it. That moment, it's like the sun comes out or the fireworks go off. It's such a great moment of writing. And, you know, they don't know who Aaron Copland is, and they don't know what Zion is. And, you know, there's so much that they don't understand, but they got the emotion of that moment just sort of viscerally. It translated over the decades from when it was created to their little ears in the modern day. Okay. I think one of the hardest sections is page 5 for almost everybody. You know what? Now I don't have a keyboard to play you. You know, I would have to restart my computer to get my keyboard sound back. Let me see if I can try it real quick. Sometimes my MIDI connection goes to sleep, and the only way I know how to get it back is to restart my computer, which would end our Zoom session. So maybe I won't do that, and I'll just keep using the recordings. Let me see if it comes back right now. The software is loading. Technology is great when it works, right? Keyscape test. Oh, I have it. It just went to sleep. Okay, so I think page 5 is hard for everybody. So let's just work on this for a minute, and this might kind of conclude our time together. Sopranos, let's hear you. I'm starting at we'll shout and go round, shout and go round. You know where I am, sopranos? 1, 2. We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout. The walls of Zion, Zion is the first soprano. The second soprano has the walls of Zion, Zion, and you just stay there. Sopranos again. Pickups 2, 5. 1, 2. We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout. The walls of Zion, Zion. or Zion. So the other trick for everybody is it's supposed to start suddenly soft. So over the note wheel, at the last note, bottom of 4, everybody has subito piano, suddenly soft. And then we see in italics, crescendo molto. And by the time we get to the end of measure 21, the word the, it's marked forte. So that's another cool part about page 5 is not only these wacky parts, but the soft to loud experience. Okay, altos, let me hear you. Same place. 1, 2, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, Zion. That's a part that's written in. Zion. Okay. Once again, altos. 1, 2. We'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, Zion. Soprano is yours again. Tenors, let's look at your line. 1, 2. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. This is a time when I wish I was a female tenor, because then I'd be singing it down an octave and it'd be more fun. Here we go, alto, tenors. 1, 2. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. Basses, let's hear you. 1, 2. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. That line jumps around a lot. Let's try that again, basses. 1, 2. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. Crazy, right? I know you're going to learn it. It's hard today, but in a month it's going to be less hard and you're going to be singing it. So let me roll into just this section. Let's see if we can jump in and find our notes. I'm going to start top of 4. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined? Let's start right there. See if you can find your part.
Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, Zion.
One more time as a group, and then we'll do the individual part. So this is top of 4 again. Hopefully this is helpful. If not, you may send me a smoke signal.
Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, Zion.
2, 1, 2, 3. Now let's try the basses. We'll try each part separated now. Same spot, starting with basses.
Of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout.
we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion.
1, 2, 3.
Have a question here. How many beats in measures 23 and 24? Is that the page turn? Yeah. So measure 23 has 2 beats. Measure 24 has 3 beats, but we're cutting off on beat 3. So it ends up sounding like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, off. When we get to the word un of Zion, Zion, right there at the page turn, top of page 6, measure 23. Zai, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. That's how you count it. Walls of Zion, Zai, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. I'll try to help you with that. Tenors, can I hear you, please? Top 4. Such a great piece of music. It's like an honor to get to spend time with it. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. 1, 2, 1, 2, off.
1, 2.
Correct. Dotted quarter gets a beat in this time signature. Same thing, tenors. We'll get to every part. 1, 2. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Altos, your turn. Top of 4. I know this is a little bit tedious, but I appreciate your patience. Same thing. That's what you get when you hire a soprano to sing alto. She can sing the soprano notes just fine. Sopranos, your turn. Sopranos have a hard part too. It jumps all over the place. That was the second soprano, obviously. And the first soprano.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Now, can we try it from the beginning with everybody? See how you do hanging on to your own part. This is Zion's Walls, full mix, all parts.
1, 2.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, heaven to meet within the walls of Zion. We'll shout around, we'll shout around, we'll shout around, we'll shout around, we'll shout around the walls of Zion,
One, two, one, two, three.
Are you feeling it? I'm enjoying just watching you guys, even though I can't hear you. Just watching you move and interact with the music tells me that it's getting in you. That feels like kind of a good stopping place to me. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to. I just appreciate you guys showing up and hanging in there with all of the challenges and all the opportunities you've had to quit and walk away from all this, and you haven't. You're still here. And I think I saw an email just now from Jonathan saying that the in-person is going to begin next week.
Yes.
I think I've mentioned to you that I am part of a Facebook choir directors group that has like 30,000 people in it.
Oh my gosh.
It's just choir directors from around the world, church and school and college choir directors.
Wow.
And it's a tremendous group because somebody will say, I'm looking for a piece in Latin for all women's voices. And in a matter of 5 minutes, they have 100 suggestions from choir directors around the world.
Wow.
So through the pandemic, they've all been helping each other and commiserating. My choir used to have 80 people in it before the pandemic, and now my choir has 10 people in it.
Yeah.
And it has 10 people, and they've never sung in a normal choir.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
that's
Because
rough.
for the past 2 years, they've been at home or singing mass on. Somebody posted yesterday from the Philippines. We've been strictly online school for 26 months.
Wow.
We're starting in person next year. I have 7 in one choir and 4 in the other.
Oh,
None of whom have ever sung. They're middle schoolers. None of them have ever sung in a normal choir.
oh,
It's gonna be so fun for them.
Oh, sad.
They're gonna love it.
Yeah. So, what do I do? Because normally when you get middle schoolers, a lot of them have sung in maybe since 5th grade or 6th grade. So you're able, by the time they get to 7th grade or 8th grade, you're actually able to do some kind of beautiful things with them. But these kids have had such a weird
yeah.
experience. Anyway, you guys have hung in there through online choir. I know it's been yuck, but there's also been some silver linings to the cloud. Individually, I would think that some of you have improved by working at home alone, and with rehearsal tracks, you've actually gotten better maybe than you thought.
I like going back and listening to the recordings too.
Yeah, I do too. Next week, we're going to see each other face to face and hear each other in a group, and it's going to be great. But I just want to applaud you for not quitting.
It's nice.
Alana, did you have a
Extra-
question, Alana? Your hand is raised.
I just want to say it's nice to have this extra rehearsal every week too, if we can make it.
I'm gonna keep doing this Friday spot.
Good.
So any of you that want extra rehearsal or that want the time on Fridays, I'm still gonna be here, even though we're meeting.
Yeah.
Even though we're meeting in person. But I won't see all of you in person. I will only see the Arlington Heights people in person.
Yeah.
Arlington,
How
thank
many
you, Paul, for keeping
Arlington
us
Heights?
going. Appreciate it.
How many Arlington Heights people are in this group today? And then how many of you are Hinsdale? Okay, and then
Hinsdale Downers Grove.
okay. We have
Wait.
Gold Coast. Anybody Gold Coast?
Yeah, you mentioned that oh, wait, I'm sorry.
And then what else? What other? Is there a Hyde
Wheaton.
Park?
Evanston.
Right.
Hinsdale.
I wish I could come to all of them and see you face to face. After only ever knowing you on a screen, I'd love to give you a big hug.
Feel free. Paul.
You might have to stiff arm me. If you don't want a hug, you might have to put your hand. Don't hug me. But my impulse is going to be to give you a big hug.
When we all do the joint concert, we'll be able to meet with you.
I'll get a lot of hugs that day, I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day. I'm going to
Have a good week, everybody.
post this recording on YouTube. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Thank you.